Hi, everybody. Welcome to our last Positive and Productive Live. It's Monday, the 19th of July. Hope you're all doing okay. It's a bit of a hot one today. I've got my iced water with me. It is iced water, I promise. Um, so, what I thought I'd do, this is the last live for the beta program. So what I thought I'd do is a little bit of a recap really and touch on some of the main areas that we've looked at over the last few weeks. So initially what we looked at was what is stress? A really obvious question, but really around just getting a better understanding of stress and how it affects us. It's one of those words, as we said, that is almost just through our language nowadays, like a stick of rock. But very few of us stop to think about what it really means, both in physical terms, mental terms, but also in the way that it impacts us. So by understanding that, by starting to recognise how it affects us, we can then start to take control. And when we take control, we can then take steps to improve things in our life and to make things more like we would like them to be. Which then took us on to looking at things like control and root cause analysis. So, controlling what we can control. I'm very into Stoicism as a philosophy, and as I've mentioned before, it's a very misunderstood thing. But really, it's about taking a very realistic view of the world. It's not about being this rock and taking any rubbish that life or anybody else wants to throw at you. It's about taking a very realistic view and having realistic expectations. That way, we don't walk through life permanently disappointed. So we looked at the stoical approach to control the things you can control, and hopefully by again bringing that to the forefront of your mind, it's helped you prioritize a little bit more and make a little bit better choices as the weeks have gone by. And as I said, we also talked about looking at the root cause of things, because again, if we don't, we will spend so much time working on the wrong stuff. And so many people do. That's why there's all these self-help books out there, all these different approaches and stress management techniques. And don't get me wrong, loads of them are great. I use them myself. I've just had a week away. I've been walking up on top of the mountains, and to be honest, some days it's been pretty agonizing getting up there. But it's my happy place, it's my well-being place. But the problem is that if what I was going to come back to was a really rubbish life or a really rubbish job or situation, I might as well not have bothered really. So we need to dig down to what's wrong. And then once again, we can start to take control and do something about it. The second module of the programme was all about mindset and positive mindset. But as you've probably recognised by now, or hopefully you have, typical Yorkshire woman, I'm pretty straight talking. I'm certainly never going to be Pollyanna about this. This isn't all in the gardens, Rosie. There are no weeds. We've got to get in there. We've got to roll our sleeves up. We've got to pull the weeds out if we want to do something about it and make things better. So with that in mind, this week we've uploaded the final two training videos and workbooks. And one of those, the final one, is about building positive habits. Now, it's really important that it's fine that we learn about all the other things, but the important thing is what we're going to do about it. Because again, wishful thinking never got anybody anywhere, it never improved anything. So it's about having a positive mindset, but then taking positive action. So it's also about being as kind to yourself as you are to everybody else. Because again, having good intentions is great, but we just end up beating ourselves up. We're all human at the end of the day. As you'd hope, I've probably got better habits than most people because, to be honest, I'm more aware of this stuff. I teach it, I do have to walk the walk. But what we need to do is also cut ourselves a little bit of slack. So what I'm just going to quickly do is show you one of the slides from the positive habits session that's about how we realistically can build habits that stick. So again, this isn't about beating ourselves up. So for example, we had I was on social media, I think it was yesterday or today, and there's somebody on there and she wants to lose weight. Now I've been there and in the past and went on a diet and a fitness regime. And you know, I'm whether you want to or you don't want to, it's immaterial. People do what makes them happy. But what she was going to do was she was going to go on a completely low carb diet. She wasn't going to have any carbohydrates. She wasn't going to have any alcohol. She wasn't going to have any sweet stuff ever, ever, ever. She was going to do a 5K run every single day. She was going to do exercises and go to the gym at least 3 times a week. It's not going to happen. And to be honest, she's ended up with a post today that's saying, you know, should I have a Magnum or a Fab Lolly? And how many is too many? So it just completely set herself up to fail. And it makes my heart sink. So just really quickly to run through these, if we're going to make habits that stick, then what we need to do is make it small. Go too big, we're just going to set ourselves up to fail. We feel worse about it, and all we've done is ingrain a sense of failure. So with that, we need to make it something that's easy. So not just achievable, but easily achievable. Because if we break it up into small steps, then we can keep building on those. But also as well, we need to remove temptation. So you know, if we know that, yeah, okay, we've got this big sort of penchant for having Magnum every time the sun comes out, then don't have any in the house. That's not to say that there's nothing to stop you going to the shop for one, but you are less likely to do so. And you are less likely to buy 5. You're probably just going to buy 1. And to be honest, that will probably be enough. By the time you got around to going back to the shop, the chances are you probably talked yourself out of it. We need to get help. So get some like-minded people around you. Get some people who really do give a damn about you and get them on side. And focus on being the person you wish to become, not what you want to achieve. So it isn't about, I want to achieve, I don't know, a 3-stone weight loss, but it's about what will I feel like? How will I feel when I've done that? And really live it. But one of the things, and back to, if you remember, we looked at 3 positive things. That's a great habit to start to build other habits, because it's a great way to celebrate those small wins. So if it was a case of I went and bought a Magnum, was I only bought 1 Magnum, even though I could quite easily have eaten 5. Do you know, in my world, I'll take that as a win. And what we also need to do is set up a system again, so we can build on all these things, so we can celebrate those small wins, but we can also track our progress through it. So again, we can be as kind to ourselves around this as we are to other people, because I think sometimes that's the bit that's missing from our life. We're much less compassionate to ourselves. So we're in a very uncertain future at the moment. Schools are coming into the holidays. People are trying to book holidays, but either can't have the holidays they like, or perhaps not even at all. To say bubbles are bursting, they're popping all around us, aren't they, at the moment? So what I would say is, and something that I'm looking at doing at the moment, because I've come back from holiday, and to be honest, the world is so uncertain, it feels quite negative at the moment. It's really just about taking one day at a time. And again, as habits go, it's a useful way of doing it, of living quite mindfully, living in the moment, living in the day. That's not to say never make any plans, but appreciating what you've got around you. And again, controlling the bits of your life that you can control. None of us know what's coming up in the autumn. So again, it's maybe a good habit to get into to build us up for them. So that's it for today, and that's it as lives go for this programme. Now, I would like to say a really big thank you to Rachel Shaw of Earth Yoga, who did a brilliant session last week for us on breathing exercises and yoga and what it's all about. So thanks very much, Rachel, and hopefully we will be seeing you again in the autumn. Also to Rachel Priestley of Streamline VA, who gave us some absolutely fantastic tips on managing emails. Hopefully you've managed to pick up at least one or two of those, again, to build a few better habits in for yourself and buy a bit of time back. Again, hopefully we'll be speaking to Rach again in the autumn, which means we have a brand new positive and productive programme starting in September. Now, this is going to be a much bigger programme. It's going to be a full 12-month programme. We're going to have lots of content as we have with this programme. Some of it will be uploaded straight away. Other parts we will add to as we go along, but we're also going to have lots more lives with some guests on lots of different subjects. We're also going to have an updated online community, and hopefully we'll be able to get a little bit of support out there for each other, a bit of advice, just a bit of cheerleading for each other, really, to get through when times get tough. So that's it for now. We're going to leave these sessions open until round about the middle of August. So yeah, okay, for some of you, you may be on holiday, but again, see it as me time as well. And if it benefits you, dip in there, use the sessions, revisit them if that helps. In the meantime, also, we post regularly on social media. So on Twitter, which is Brightbird01, on Facebook, I think we're there as Brightbird Coaching, same on Instagram, and also for those of you that do LinkedIn, give us a follow, Karen Amos, or you can follow Brightbird Coaching and Training on LinkedIn, and it'd be great to see you there. So that's it, everybody. Do take care. As I say, remember to be at least as kind to yourself as you are to everybody else. And hopefully I'll look forward to seeing many of you again in the autumn.